Hey, ¿qué tal a todos amigos y amigas? Sean bienvenidos a un nuevo video en el canal. Estamos en el primer vistazo de la actualización de invierno que llega el 8 de noviembre a Halo Infinite con 30 accesorios gratis del nuevo pase de batalla, nuevos mapas, llega el modo Force con infinidad de posibilidades, así que vamos a ver el primer vistazo. Vamos a ponerlo en español. Me esperé después del estreno, amigos, porque no venía en español y mi inglés es bastante malo, y personalmente el español está mejor traducido después de que el video ya está subido. Vean, es todo lo que vamos a tener, ¿saben? Todo. Los mapas, Force, los lienzos, modos de juego que vamos a poder crear.
We're shipping a whole bunch of cool things inside of our free-to-play multiplayer product. It's all free, coming out on November 8th of this year.
Todo es gratis a partir del 8 de noviembre, amigos. Todo. Vean nada más que hermoso.
So for the winter update, we're releasing 2 new maps, a new mode, a 30-tier battle pass, 2 events,
30 niveles, 2 eventos y experiencia. Todo gratis. Tenemos dos mapas creados con Force, amigos. Eso ya los conocíamos, Argyll y el otro se llama Destacamiento. Estos mapas ya se habían filtrado desde hace meses.
Or like kind of an assault on a position in a surprise way is super cool, and like I think the way it really worked into that map played out really well and adds a lot of counterplay to like people hanging out on the island and camping that space. Argyle is cool because it has this big kind of open central yard, and it has some really interesting flank routes around the sides. And so you can go like really just frontal assault and try to push your way in, or kind of be a little sneakier around the sides. Having this big kind of central courtyard has created a lot of really cool gameplay that feels different than a lot of things we have in Infinite so far.
The new mode in the winter update, Covert One Flag, is our first.
Covert One Flag es nuestro primer modo de juego. Van a llegar más variantes, Creo que sí voy a traerles un video más detallado porque ya se filtraron los modos de juego que tendremos.
One of the biggest pieces of feedback that we've gotten since we launched is that people really want a system that gives them points, XP points,
que le dé puntos de experiencia solo por jugar, lo que tanto hemos pedido.
Actually rewards players for playing. As you're playing matches, you get XP.
Obtienes XP. Es el modo que va a estar en beta, si no me equivoco.
You get a little bit of bonus XP, and we're trying to tune that system so that it actually gets you moving through the battle pass a lot quicker than we have in the past. The winter update has a 30-tier.
Tiene un pase de batalla gratuito de 30 niveles. Vean, vamos a tener armaduras. Se llena de cosas así, lo que esperábamos antes. Va a tener accesorios muy buenos. Cascos que esperábamos en las primeras 2 temporadas, y los tendremos acá. Los 2 eventos que tendremos futuros: contingencia de invierno y el que acabo de mencionar. Se va a venir. Personalmente me emociona, no les voy a mentir, sí me emociona. La campaña cooperativa en línea. Esto es muy diferente al modo cooperativo en pantalla dividida, El modo cooperativo en pantalla dividida está completamente cancelado, pero el modo cooperativo en línea sigue en pie, obviamente, y va a llegar el 8 de noviembre.
Whether you're playing single player or you're playing co-op with your friends, any progress made is saved. So it's not a case now where, you and I are going to get together, we're going to play, and we're going to play your game. What we're going to do is start everybody at the place where the furthest behind player was in their individual.
La persona que tenga la lobby, por así decirle, y si tiene todo desbloqueado, van a poder jugar todo lo que esa persona tenga.
Objects are the same way. Collectibles, data pads, even Spartan cores. So if you've collected a Spartan core, let's say, and I haven't, when we go to that Spartan core, it's still interactive, and any one of us can activate it to collect it. Those who haven't collected that particular Spartan core, they get it. And a fun little feature specifically regarding skulls is at the beginning of the fire team, when you're setting it up, the set of skulls we'll have to choose from is all the skulls that everybody has brought. And so it's a bit of bragging moment from you. You can say, yeah, birthday party, that's mine.
Va a ser muy
With
No sé,
moving to
muy
a
divertido.
semi-open world Halo game, we wanted to make it so that you have this ability to go explore, find things, go take on an outpost or a base or something like that. However you guys want to do it. You know, it's like, hey, you go take that tower, we're going to go take this tower, you know, and you can split up and do your stuff. But there is a limit because it is a co-op game, so it's not the idea that we're being put into a world and you all just go do your own game.
Exactamente.
The idea is to play together. That's the focus.
If you're in one of our interior maps, these are more of the linear, traditional Halo
No recuerdo
style
cuál era la
levels. As you progress
distancia
through the
máxima a la que
level, if
podías
someone in the
estar
fire
solo.
team is too far behind, then they'll be brought up with the
Ajá.
rest of the team.
Si él está
When you're
demasiado
out on
lejos, lo
what we
traerá
have
hacia el
is
equipo.
a radius-based system.
We
Del
went to the
radio.
largest base that we have in the game, and then basically made the space double that. So you have tons of room to go outside of that, come back, lots of room for aerial vehicles.
Unlike previous Halos, you don't lose your weapons when you die in this one. You respawn
Cuando
with the
mueres en
same
este,
stuff you had when
reapareces
you
con las
died.
mismas
So there's
cosas que
really not
tenías
a
cuando
mechanic
mueras.
penalty other than the respawn time, and your teammates have to be safe to spawn on.
Y deben estar a salvo. Creo que eso ya lo sabíamos. Ya habíamos hecho un video profundizando en eso, pero no tan detallado. O sea, no teníamos toda la información detallada.
Everybody's playing their own games. Anybody can skip a narrative sequence. Anybody can pick up objects in the world. Anybody can trigger a mission replay, fast travel to a new location, trigger those kinds of things. Turn that back off. Griefing is a very important aspect of co-op. You can kill each other, which can be fun as well. Load everybody up into a Razorback and then just drive off a cliff and giggle the whole time.
And then, of course, we've also got a bunch of new achievements, both for co-op and mission replay, that emphasize either
Repetir
playing together with
misiones.
friends, or in the case of the replay achievements, going back and revisiting parts of missions that you couldn't have visited before we had the mission replay feature.
One of the achievements is basically you got to take out a certain number of enemies with a gravity hammer, hanging outside of a vehicle while you're doing it, which is pretty fun. The team
Bueno,
here
eso
at
va a ser
343
para uno de los
working
logros.
on campaign co-op. We're excited to get it into your hands and see what you guys can come up with, see what kind of fun you get into. We call it chaosum because it's just
Va a dar
awesome. The amount of
un aire
chaos and
fresco Halo
crazy
Infinite,
stuff that you
amigos.
can do. And doing
Eso
it together,
espero. Tengo
it's
esa
just really,
esperanza.
really fun.
Tengo esa pequeña esperanza. Y aquí viene
As
el
part
modo
of the free
Forge.
winter update, we're super excited to release the Forge Open Beta, our most powerful Forge tool yet.
Well, ever
Mira,
since
ese mapa
Halo
está
3,
precioso.
Forge has been the way that we unlock all the creativity of our players. Allows them to jump in, make their own maps, modes, whole new experiences.
When Forge
Personalmente,
launched, it
amigos,
was a cool tool for the
yo soy
team to
una
start
persona
playing with
completamente
maps and having
nueva en
influence on
Forge.
maps where spawners were placed,
Si
moving
en
some
Halo
objects
5
around.
no
There wasn't
entendía
quite a
completamente el
fully
modo
robust
Forge, ahora
tool
imagínense
set
en
for
Halo
building
Infinite.
levels yet. And that's
Con los
where
nodos
it's kind
y un
of
montón
evolved
de
to, and then beyond. Now
posibilidades.
it's like its own little game editor.
With the release of the beta, we're inviting everyone to
Si veo que es
participate in
muy
Forge.
accesible
And the
para
good
una
news is
persona
all the work
completamente
you do
nueva,
for maps and modes,
haré un
everything else
tutorial.
inside of Forge, that's going to be saved.
Obviamente lo más básico.
Basically, how Forge works is you go into Forge and you place a bunch of different kind of objects to create a space where players can play in. And then you decorate it with different materials or colors, lights, VFX and audio.
Audio,
They can
todo.
then save them, they can share them, and then play them with other players. Even
Algo
if you're not
que-
intending to play Forge,
que la
Forge
gente
has a lot to
espera
offer
es
you,
compartir
because all
sus
those players who
mapas
are making stuff with
y que
Forge
pueda jugarlo
will be available
cualquiera.
to you, and so you'll be able to create custom games and play that content
Juegos
with your friends.
personalizados y jugar con
Our
contenido con
Forge
tus amigos.
system that
Creo que esa
people can
opción de
experience
compartir
with
va a
the
estar
Winter
disponible.
Update is at a whole other level. Like, there's nothing that we've done with Forge like this before.
Y algo
And the
interesante
type of
que no he
content
visto
that
que
people
se
are
haya
gonna be able to
mencionado
make for Halo Infinite
es que
is
si un ejemplo, tú
In
creas
Halo
un
Infinite
mapa
Forge, we've increased the object count to
Creas un
around
mapa
7,000 objects. In Halo 5,
y
for
en, no sé,
comparison, it was
después del mes
1,600
ves que le
objects.
hace falta algo, lo quieres actualizar. Bueno, puedes modificar el mapa y las personas que tengan ese mapa en su consola les va a aparecer una alerta de que el mapa se ha actualizado y ellos también tienen que picarle que se actualice para que, un ejemplo, tú actualices tu mapa y automáticamente se actualicen todas las personas que lo tengan.
I'm excited about a lot of things, but I think I'm most excited about the visual scripting language. You know, this is the deepest players have been able to get inside.
Yo nunca he creado algo con nodos.
Even if you're not familiar with visual
No sé qué tan
scripting
accesible
systems,
vaya a ser para
it's
una
really
persona
easy to
completamente
get
nueva.
started, to start to recombine things.
Es realmente fácil comenzar a...
Drag
Ah, bueno.
nodes into your scripting space and draw out the events and the functions that you want to do in your map.
Díganme en los comentarios si quieren que les haga un video de un tutorial básico de Forge. Más de 100 nodos diferentes.
Whether it was Griffball or Infection, a whole bunch of things that are now core.
Mira, Infección se va a poder crear en
Forge. Inside of Forge, and I think with the new visual scripting system, players are going to have the ability to do even cooler, more interesting things than they've had a chance to do in the past. That's going to be super exciting.
Tendremos más posibilidades que en el pasado. Vean, esos son los lienzos, son 6 lienzos que habrán en Forge. 6. Vean. Lienzos en las profundidades del mar. Van a poder crear mapas abajo del mar o en el espacio, si lo deseas.
We're super excited to bring NavMesh into Forge. NavMesh is basically data that Spartan bots rely on to navigate a map. This is the first time that bot support has appeared in Forge in the Halo series.
Sí, es cierto, vamos a poder meter a bots en Forge.
Taking things that we've done and making them new again with their own imagination.
We've already seen a lot of amazing content.
Vean, ese modo me encanta. Ese mapa también me encanta, amigos.
It's super encouraging to already see before we've even released this what this thing is capable of and the amount of content that they're going to be able to create.
Infinidad de contenido a partir del 8 de noviembre.
The Forge Council is already making a wide variety of experiences. I've seen really amazing arena maps. I've seen crazy scripts. They are really pushing Forge.
Once Forge releases, we're really going to be watching what comes out because we want to find the cool, the best of, right? And surface those things to players in any way we can. The more we can take those things and kind of put them up on a pedestal and inside of the rest of our game and kind of let the rest of the community play them, that's super cool. And that's really the heart and spirit of what Forge is. What people should expect with Forge is that, much like the rest of the game, it's just going to continue to grow and evolve as we add new game modes and new objects with Forge, or just, you know, in our suite of modes in general. We'll be bringing those things into Forge and adding some of that scripting functionality so that the players will have access to all that kind of stuff.
Forge is going to evolve based on what the community wants, right? We've already started a good dialogue with the Forge Council. They've given us some good feedback. Once Forge goes live, I'm super excited to hear what the community says, because that's going to be our North Star in terms of what Forge turns into. On behalf of the entire Forge team, we are so excited to see what the community makes with Forge.
Va a crear cosas increíbles.
And we're excited to finally share this with you.
I think this is the start of a new part of the journey of Infinite and where we continue to evolve as a service and how the game will continue to expand alongside of the community as we keep releasing new features and making the game crazier and more fun.
The Forge Open Beta is available on November 8th.
Todo llega el 8 de noviembre gratis.
Mission replay and some great additions to our multiplayer experience. All part of the winter update.
Y bueno, amigos y amigas, hasta acá ha quedado el primer vistazo a la actualización de invierno que llegará a partir del 8 de noviembre. Estaré pensando si hacer un video más detallado con todo lo que se mostró y hablando de los próximos modos de juego que ya se filtraron y de los próximos mapas que de igual manera ya se filtraron, los mapas que saldrán cada temporada. Así que, amigos y amigas, dejen su increíble pulgar arriba, suscríbanse si no están suscritos, activen la campanita para el futuro contenido que se viene. Les mando un fuerte abrazo desde Berriozábal, Chiapas. Hasta la próxima. Bye bye. Espero este video haya sido de tu agrado. No olvides apoyarme dándole like a este video y suscribiéndote si no estás suscrito. Sígueme en mis redes sociales, las cuales estarán apareciendo aquí en pantalla, y no olvides visitar los siguientes videos.
But it's that